This is Carl Eller, and you're watching the One Bar and Lupagus Show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus, and today we are SKOL'ing with the enemy. Today I have Dave and Rashad from Panthers Nation podcast joining the show. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man? We are living the dream, coming off of L's. We're doing about as good as we can do. We're about doing as good as we can do.
Yeah, we're coming off a win, but it sure felt like an L when you barely squeak one out against the Lions after you blow a 16-6 lead with 3 minutes left in the game. So we got.
That's what the Lions do. They don't quit.
They don't quit.
They bite you. Man. They bite you on your leg.
Bite you in your kneecaps, right?
Bite you in your kneecaps, right?
I think they eat the kneecaps is what the Lions
eat the
do.
kneecaps.
Eat the kneecaps.
Protect the caps.
And then they get up and they try it again.
They do.
They don't quit. I will give Detroit that. They got a lot of fight in them. I will say that.
Yeah.
They're gonna break one through at some point.
We're worrying about a different cat this week. It's Carolina Panthers. Vikings going to Carolina to face the 3-2 Carolina Panthers. And SKOL'ing with the enemy, usually I just ask you guys questions. Today we're gonna keep this a little more open format because I know you guys can use this video as well. So this is we're just kind of talk this thing out. But the first thing I want to ask you guys, I want to move back a few months here. So going in the draft, you guys had the 8th pick. A lot of talk Justin Fields could be an option for you. Instead, you guys went the Sam Darnold route. Initially, how did you feel about that move?
Rashad, you want to go first, buddy?
Nah, you go ahead. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Man.
I knew we weren't taking Justin Fields at 8, bro. Like I knew that we were. I was thinking that Penei Sewell would fall to us at 8. That would be the pick, and if that wasn't going to happen, we were going to take a corner. Either Surtain or Horn, and we ended up taking Horn. So I'm not shocked by the pick that we got. I know a lot of the fan base really wanted Justin Fields, but the moment that we traded for Sam Darnold, that ride was over from that standpoint. So, and I think J.C. Horn was impressive until he broke his foot. Like he was playing certifiable shutdown corner. He was playing like the pick that we picked him at, but then he got injured, and those are the breaks. But so I didn't have an issue with the pick. The coaching staff has been focused on trying to fix this defense all this time for the most part. Like the previous year, we drafted nothing but defensive players. This year, we drafted a little bit of offense, but mostly defensive players again. So from that standpoint, I wasn't shocked by the pick at all. But I know there's a lot of portions. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, just going back to Sam, right? And I guess to Sam over draft pick or Sam over whoever you want to insert, Teddy. Listen, I understand why they did it. I mean, you got an opportunity to get a young guy that they think they can fix. And you get him out there on a rookie contract, you pick up the 5th-year option at $18 million. Theoretically, it sounds nice. It sounds great, right? You got to get a young quarterback, and hopefully you fix him. The first 3 games, he was solid. He didn't have to do much. The defense was playing lights out. And then we hit some adversity against Dallas, and then it really hit the fan against the Eagles. And the same thing happened last year with our quarterback situation, right? Teddy Bridgewater, exact same scenario. Started out hot, and then as teams adjusted onto our play calling, Christian McCaffrey goes down. It's like a repeat of last year. We traded for him. We gave up some picks, and I get it. I mean, Sam is not a franchise quarterback. He's not proven to be a franchise quarterback right now. But the way this defense or the way this team is being structured, he doesn't necessarily have to be. And so we just need him to go out there and not make mistakes. And over the first 3 games, he did it. And now he's on like what is it, Dave? 5 interceptions in the past 6 quarters right now. So it's things are starting to level out.
Mm-hmm. So looking back at it now, I mean, would you have rather gone the rookie quarterback route or not?
Well, I was always for Justin Fields. I thought Justin Fields, when you have an opportunity to get a guy on a rookie contract, a 4-year rookie contract plus the 5th-year option, I think you go that route. I think that was the better move. And I was always on it. As soon as the pick came around and Dave had called it, he said we weren't going to pick him. And I'm sitting here like he's staring right in the. I was devastated. I'm gonna be honest. I was devastated that we didn't pick Justin Fields, and it was even more devastated that we passed on Justin Fields and Penei Sewell because we're still having issues with the offensive line. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Not Penei Sewell. I'm sorry, Rashad Slater. Rashad Slater. My apologies, Rashad Slater. I was more devastated about the Rashad Slater. Not picking him, and so yeah, So what I love JC, and it's not a I'm not a knock on him because he's a great player. He's been playing fine before he got injured, like Dave said. He's been doing fantastic. So we love JC, and I'm not trying to knock his play at all, but I just think we had more pressing needs than a cornerback. And now you look at our cornerback room now, and it's stacked. I don't think there's a better, when healthy, when everybody's back, I don't think there's a better cornerback room in the league.
It's insane what you guys got. I mean,
yeah,
Gilmore in there now. Is he close to being ready or not?
Week 7. He's on the pup. So because he's on the pup, he can't come back until week 7.
Okay.
He'll be back for the Giants game. But like to piggyback on what Rashad said, from my perspective, I would have felt better if we would have went offensive line. I just didn't see that happen unless Panay fell to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been cool if we would have went offensive line, even over Fields, only because even if we didn't have Sam, only because we haven't been paying attention to the offensive line at all. We haven't made a good effort to try to fix the offensive line. And it's been a problem since the Super Bowl year, if you want to keep it a buck, since 2015. Mm-hmm. Probably prior to that, since Joe Brady retired. So for us, we never really took an effort to try to fix the line. And bringing in Sam sounded great on paper for some folks, but the reality is if you don't have a good offensive line, it's going to look like he did with the Jets, no matter what you put around him. And that's what we've been seeing for the last 2 quarters. Without McCaffrey, 2 games without McCaffrey there.
Yeah, we were a lot like you guys. We both wanted. I mean, we wanted Fields and we wanted Slater, and we missed out on them both. So I feel like we're in the same boat on that one. But you guys did get a pretty solid player in J.C. Horn, so you got to like the consolation prize there. Panthers started off 3-0, hot start. Last 2. So are they the definition of pretenders, or who are the Carolina Panthers?
Dog, I wish I knew. I wish I knew what we are.
I know what we are.
Go ahead, Dave.
We're pretenders until we can prove that we can beat somebody that's viable without Christian McCaffrey. Because like last year, it was like kind of crazy to think about because last year with McCaffrey, we didn't win a single game. This year without McCaffrey, we haven't won one. We've won them all. With McCaffrey, we've won them all, right? And like I understand the Dallas loss. I'm not mad about the Dallas loss, but the fact is, in all 5 games, we've led in the first half.
Dave, hold on. Let me push back on that. It's really misleading. When that sounds nice, going and winning 3-0, but dog, our defense was playing lights out, bro.
Yeah, like, I was gonna get there.
I was gonna get there. Is why we were 3-0, not Christian McCaffrey. Let's be clear.
Well,
it's a fact. That's the truth. That is a fact. Did you watch the same games I watched?
No, we did. I did.
Okay, it was the defense. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh yeah, the defense has been playing lights out. Like they were the number 1 defense in the NFL going into the Dallas game. They're still top 3 in the NFL currently.
Let's talk about that defense. So what makes your defense so good? What is it?
I think
edge rush, the pass rush.
It's the snowman. Phil Snow is out there. He's cooking it up. He finally has the guys he on his roster to execute what he wants to execute. We're out there playing a lot of man defense. So we're gonna man up on your cornerbacks and just get after the man up on your receivers and get after the quarterback. The pass rush is insane. Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, Derek Brown, Daquan Jones. That front 4 is a nightmare. And they're gonna wreak havoc. They might not get to you. They may not get the sack, but the pressure is going to be there. And so I was looking at some stats on you guys. I realized I think I saw that your offensive line is kind of shaky. Is that true?
Yeah,
because it might be feasting season.
Well,
and same thing on y'all side too, though. Y'all got a good front 4 too. So, but
our old line's been weird because horrible against the Bengals, got absolutely destroyed. Then they were facing Chandler Jones after his 5-sack performance, pretty much shut him down. And they were pretty good against the Seahawks, but then the last couple of games now, you've kind of seen the typical Minnesota Vikings O-line that we've seen the last couple of years. Hoping that Christian Darrisaw gets to start this week over Rashad Hill at left tackle. He's finally ready, so he looked pretty good in the few snaps he got last week. So if Darrisaw's out there, but what they're going to do, they're going to help out with, CJ Ham, the fullback, a great blocking fullback, super underrated player. Then they also signed this Ben Ellison, this tight end from Jacksonville, who's been a good blocker, helps out, chips out. So, and the last time we faced a good pass rush, we did a lot of 3-step drops, got the ball out quick. So I expect the Vikings to do a lot of that against you guys too.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those 3-step drops. You got some aggressive cornerbacks that can jump those. So Dante Jackson is playing well. He's playing out of his mind right now in his contract year. CJ Henderson is still getting his feet wet. He's learning the system. Still got AJ Bouye. So yeah, man, our secondary, even without JC Horn, is playing well. But that's my biggest concern going up against you guys, right? I don't think our secondary has been really tested by you can talk about Dallas, right? Dallas has really good receivers, but they ran it down our throat. They didn't really test our cornerbacks like that. So our cornerbacks really, I mean, Justin Jefferson, he scares me, right? Thielen, they scared me. Like, so we'll see how good those guys are individually manning up, but they've been doing very, very well so far. I mean, I'm impressed with the secondary. And again, it helps when you have that pass rush that's able to get after it. Because again, Hassan Reddick, he's 6.5 sacks. I think he's tied for second. He's top 5 in sacks in the league right now. And he's balling. And then you can't forget about Brian Burns too. Brian Burns is getting double teamed a lot, and that frees up Hassan Reddick to go and do what he does. Also, Frankie Louvu, he's doing his thing as well. Underrated guy. Nobody's really paying attention to him. So the defense is stacked. Morgan Fox, a lot of good guys that go unnoticed. They've been kind of, forgot about on other teams, and they're coming to the system and they're balling. So defense is playing well.
So going back to the running back situation for Minnesota, because you guys have some pretty damn good running backs. Like, do you think Dalvin Cook's going to play? Are we going to see Dalvin Cook for like 25? Is he going to get 25 carries? And I know Alexander Madison is not a slouch either. So what are you thinking about your running back situation? I saw that both of them are currently questionable.
Yeah, and I think I do think Cook actually practiced today. The funny thing is, you guys are talking that the Panthers are 3-0 with Christian McCaffrey. The Vikings they're 2-0 without Dalvin Cook this year, which is crazy to think about, but that's the truth.
That's how it works.
And honestly, if I'm the Vikings, I'm keeping Cook out until our buys after this. You give him another break, and then you let him come back, the second half of the season fully healthy, ready to go. Alexander Madison can handle the load. He can catch the ball. He's a tough runner. He's quicker than people think, and he's hard to bring down. So every Vikings fan is 100% confident in Alexander Madison being the feature back. What's not so confident is if you get Amir Abdullah in there getting some carries. The guy does have some fumbling problems, but we might see our 4th-round rookie Kenny Ngwangnu this week. That guy is lightning quick. Someone we haven't seen at all because he was injured the first preseason game. So if he's active, he's someone to watch as kind of a big-time sleeper because he's got some playmaking ability. But the Vikings will still run the football a lot with Alexander Madison, and you expect to see a lot of screens too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we are stout against the run. Again, we had the one anomaly game against Dallas. They kind of out schemed us. They played chess out there with us, and they caught us slipping. But we know we did well against the Eagles from a run perspective. So I think we're going to be fine. My biggest concern from a defensive perspective is the passing game for you guys. I think you guys rank 13th in the league in passing yards per game. So that's a bit of a concern. Again, not to say that we're not capable, because I think we are. I think we match up well. It's just we haven't. If you guys get to like really getting after it and abandon the run and just start slinging it on us, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Happens.
The first 3 games, the air attack was great. The last 2, not so much. Adam Thielen's kind of been non-existent the last 2 weeks. He even had an uncharacteristic drop. You never see Adam Thielen drop a ball. He did it last week. Justin Jefferson didn't practice today. I don't think Thielen practiced either. It's Wednesday. They're probably resting these guys. But really, Jefferson has been Kirk Cousins' go-to target. Last 2 games, he's thrown everything Jefferson's way. And the guy, he catches everything. He can have a guy all over him. He'll still come down with the ball. I love Justin Jefferson so much. We all love Justin Jefferson up here in Minnesota. Again, I'm here with Panther Nation Podcast. We are SKOL'ing with the enemy, getting ready for Vikings and Panthers. If you guys haven't done it yet, check out their page. The link to their page is down below in the description, so be sure to check it out. One thing I want to ask you guys about, because I don't know if you have any sense of this being in Carolina, but Mike Zimmer's under a lot of pressure right now, making some really questionable decisions, especially inside 2 minutes of the first half. We've given up like an insane amount of points. His clock.
We can relate.
Okay. Clock management's been horrible. So there was talk. If they would have lost that Lions game last week, he might have been fired right there. So a popular name is Joe Brady.
Take him.
What's your guys' thought on him?
Take him.
Keeps coming up.
We love Joe Brady. I mean, he's working with Okay, so you go back to his LSU days, right?
Yep.
He had the best situation you can ever have. He had best quarterback, best wide receiver group, best offensive line. Okay. He's got a good wide receiver group here. He's got up and down quarterbacks, and he has terrible offensive linemen. So we have a situation where the Panther Nation is split between whether Joe Brady sucks as an offensive coordinator or Panther Nation blaming the players for execution. And I think it's a bit of combination. It's a combination of both, right? We've seen some really bad situational play calls, but we've also seen piss poor execution. And so you want to get into really bad situational football. We have to be, and I think this is a stat. We rank as the worst third quarter team in the NFL. We are horrendous. Yes, awful.
We have 4 out of the 5 games. We haven't scored a single point in the third quarter.
Awful. So, like Dave said earlier, we come out, we get up on you, we get on top, pause, and we get a lead. We sit on it, and then halftime comes. We don't adjust. The other team adjusts. They smash us in the third quarter, and then we got to play from behind. And Sam Darnold's not that good. That offense is not built to come back.
Now, granted, we've only had to play from behind twice, and that was.
But they going back to last year. It's
the same thing.
Same thing. So when you talk about situational football and situational play calling, red zone, we have improved in the red zone. So again, you're going to get split. By all means, for us, from Panther Nation perspective, we want a OC that's going to be here, right? We don't want to play games with the OC. We don't want to put Sam Darnold in a situation where we have to deal with multiple offensive coordinators. So we are like, hey, if you want him, go ahead and take him so we can move on and stick with an offensive coordinator. Because all the buzz has been since last year. He got six interviews last year, and our offense was like not good. We started out hot, but they ended up being garbage. So what has he done? Like, he hasn't done anything to really earn a head coaching job. But if you want him,
he's just a young offensive mind. He's a young offensive mind.
That's what's hot right now.
Yeah,
that's what's hot right now. And the thing is, like, the Raiders they already prepared to put him with the Raiders too after the firing of John Gruden.
Yeah,
the resignation of John Gruden. Mm-hmm. So I'm at the point, like Rashad, I'm at the point of, bro, just go. Like, if you want him, hire him. Somebody take him, because I don't think that's going to help Sam Darnold either.
Nope.
Right. So from my perspective, because we know that he's going to end up getting a head coaching job. So if you're going to go in and get a head coaching job, go get it. Go get it. Let's get an OC that's going to be there longer. Like Phil Snow isn't, from a defensive side of the fence, Phil Snow and Matt Rule are a package deal. They've been in every coaching staff together forever. Back in college, the whole 9. Not the case with Joe Brady. Like, I believe Joe Brady was handpicked by Tepper. So from that perspective, if he gets a head coaching job, let him go. And then that way we could try to get some level of consistency with our OC.
And arguably Phil Snow's the better coordinator of the two. So
yeah, he's the best coach we got.
Coordinator we have, and nobody.
He's the best coach we got. Period.
He's old. Wow. He's like 68, 65, 60 something. He's older. So
yeah, he's the best coach we got. Like, so, but I don't think he's gonna have. I don't think he has an interest of becoming a head coach at this point. No. So I love Phil Snow. Like, I gave Phil Snow so much heat last year, but he has grown on me big time, because I understood what he dealt with last year.
Well, I want nothing to do with Joe Brady now. So you guys talked me off that one. I just know he's a name that always gets thrown in there when that's brought up. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But again, I think he did coach Justin Jefferson at LSU, so there maybe is that connection. So
he didn't coach Kirk Cousins though.
No, he didn't. But I don't know how long Kirk Cousins will be around here. So you got to keep your young superstar happy. That's what it takes. I think the Vikings might even go that route.
Sure.
So is Mcaffrey playing or not? What's the latest on him?
He should be playing this week.
I don't know. I don't agree. I don't agree. He's talking the same game as last week. And then they're saying right now he's 50-50. We'll know Friday on where they put him. If they designate him as doubtful,
he's gonna play, dude. He's gonna play. Listen, we got rid of Rodney Smith, who was a guy that was subbing for him. He was on the active roster, and we cut him. So McCaffrey's gonna play, dude, and he might not play 100% of snaps or 98 or 97% of snaps like he normally does. I think you'll get a good mix. And I argue that, I think this team is capable without without Christian McCaffrey. You know, when we get Christian McCaffrey on the field, he is he's the ultimate pacifier for Sam Darnold and Joe Brady, right? We get lazy with play calling, just dump it off to Christian McCaffrey, let Christian McCaffrey go to work. We have so many weapons on this offense. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, and Chuba Hubbard, our running back, and we can spread the football around. And because when Christian McCaffrey's out, it allows us to spread the football around. It forces Joe Brady to be an offensive coordinator and do his job. When C-Mac is in the game, we give the ball to Christian McCaffrey 30 times a game and let it work. And I think that it works when your defense is playing well. When your defense starts getting exposed and you're forced to call plays and execute, that's where it gets ugly. And that's why I think what Dave said was misleading about the 3-0 with McCaffrey.
Yeah, because the defense is the reason. It's just, I think it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation compared to last year, but the difference that between last year and this year's team is the defense. Our defense is playing like at a top-notch level. We're one of the best defenses in the league. There's not a doubt in my mind there. Like we're pretty much top 5 in pretty much almost every statistical category on the defensive side of the ball.
You guys didn't mention Jeremy Chin. How's he look? I mean, we played him last year. He had 2 touchdowns on back-to-back plays against us. It was insane.
And we lost.
And you lost, which is even more insane. That Chad Beebe went from goat to hero in that one, I believe. How's he look this year? How's he looked in year 2?
Yeah, so Jeremy Chin, we moved him to safety primarily. He does kind of mix in the box a little bit. But last year he was all over the field. Ultimate chess piece, moved him around. He played linebacker, played in the box. He was blitzing a lot. This year, moved him to safety, and he's doing a great job. Like, he's doing his job, but he's not going to get those highlight reel plays that he traditionally has because he's playing safety. He'll lock up on any tight end. He's still great. And don't get me wrong, they still do move him around, but it's not as much as it was last year. But he's great. We love Jeremy Chin, a great player, fantastic player. Should have won rookie of the year last year. We got robbed. He got snubbed due to the bigger market team.
I know how that feels.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. No surprise there. But we love Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin's great player.
Okay, I was just surprised his name didn't come up when you listen to those guys, because it's what he did to us last year.
Yeah, he's good. Going back to the game last year, because you bring it up. Oftentimes Teddy Bridgewater gets the raw and the deal when you go back to that game, right? And obviously he missed DJ Moore in the end zone, wide open, and people forget that he also drove us back down the field for the game winner, and our kicker missed a field goal. That kicker is no longer on the team, so we are missing we're shuffling kickers. Got a new kicker, but just keeping that in mind. A lot of people flashback to that game.
Don't you dare try to outdo me on kicker pain and kicker misery.
Fam,
don't you even
dare.
We
were out here changing kickers days before the final preseason, bro.
Yeah,
like we brought in competition to the kicker 2 days before the final preseason game, and that kicker beat out Joey Sly.
That's what we do with our punter. We do that every year with our punter, it seems like. And then I thought after the Cardinals game that Zimmer would have pulled the plug on Joseph. We had Dan Carlson, who choked the Packers game for us a couple years ago. Now he's one of the best kickers in the league. I think Zimmer learned from that, and he kind of just took it easy with Joseph, and he redeemed himself last week. So it's just been kicker's always been an issue with the Vikings. Always will be.
Yeah.
All right, you guys go ahead. Ask me anything you want with the Vikings. I'm an open book right now.
I think my biggest question was answered. I mean, you talked about the offensive line. I think that's where the game is really going to be won. Talk to me about that defense. Like, what's the defense looking like, especially in the trenches, right? Because we got some guys that get off on us last week, especially in the interior. That's kind of a soft spot for our offensive line. We do have Cam Irving supposedly coming back. We'll see, but on the interior, our offensive line is
terrible,
kind of soft.
Okay, well,
kind of.
The pass rush has been great. Danielle Hunter is off to a great start this season, and the surprise has been Everson Griffin. We brought him back, got him for like a veteran minimum deal, and he had 2 sacks last week. I think he's got 4 on the season. The guy's creating all kinds of pressure. He looks like he did 5 years ago. So Everson's playing at a high level. Hunter's playing at a high level. It's what's been frustrating is our run defense. It was horrible last year. We had like Shamar Stephan and Jaleel Johnson. So we get Michael Pierce, who was on the COVID list last year, back this year. Delvin Tomlinson, we go out and sign him. and we still can't stop the run. And we're going to put over 100 yards every single game. You guys are going to get 7 yards a pop. It's embarrassing. And I don't know what we have to do to stop it. We can't stop the run. And that to me is the biggest shock about this defense. And then the other side, look at the corners. Patrick Peterson's playing great. Had some big time plays last week against the Lions. Obviously got Harrison Smith, Xavier Woods. But if I'm the Panthers, I'm throwing everything at Rashad Breeland. That guy is complete garbage. He's been a mess.
I remember him.
Oh, he's
that guy.
so bad. And then after the games, he's getting on, telling our fans to suck on his Johnson. It's horrible. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy is like trying to get kicked out of town.
So, do you know the story of what happened with him with Carolina? Because he signed with Carolina, but he couldn't pass a physical, so we had to pull his deal.
Okay, I didn't know that, or I forgot.
Yeah, he ended up going to the team. He ended up going to Washington.
Okay. He gets burnt and then he like pretends he's hurt, and it happens like every single play, and it's embarrassing. And I don't know what Cam Dancer did.
He pulled an Albert Hainsworth?
Yeah, every single time. And
he came from that lineage in Washington, so I mean, came from that lineage of the Hainsworth.
No, it's horrible. It's embarrassing to watch. And Zimmer keeps putting him back out there. I don't know what Cam Dancer did, if he killed Zimmer's cat or something, but he's in Zimmer's doghouse and he keeps playing Rashad Breeland over him. So if Breeland's out there, you guys should target him heavily because he can't stop anything right now.
So that means Robbie Anderson or Terrence Marshall should have a good game if they target him.
Yeah.
We haven't really been targeting him like that.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the key, I'm looking at the stats right now, and you brought up a great point. That run game, like I think you guys are giving up 130 yards per game on the ground. And if we just stick to the run, I think we'll be, because again, don't get caught, any Vikings fan watching this, don't get caught up. And just because CMC is not playing, this team is incapable, because Chuba Hubbard can ball. I mean, he had like 130 something yards. Yeah, 101 yards rushing, and then he added 30 something receiving. So he's a very capable running back if given the reps. And so don't get caught slipping on there. And again, I think another concern is that if we do end up having to drop back, and I spoke about this earlier, and you put the ball in Sam's hands, you guys rank second in the league in sacks, right? You talk about the trenches. I mean, we're right behind you in third, but I mean, that's my biggest concern is the trenches, right? If it comes to it where we can't take advantage of the lead we may have, and we have to put the ball in Sam's hands, I have concerns at that point. So that's my biggest concern.
And that's
it's pretty simple for me, man. This is how the game's gonna go. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
The Panthers are gonna have a lead going into halftime. The third quarter is the Vikings. I said the same thing to the folks in Philadelphia. The third quarter is the opportunity for you guys to get back in the game. If you guys gain the lead after the third quarter and you force the ball on Sam, y'all have a pretty damn good chance to win, because Sam Darnold has not shown to be able to close out a game when they're behind. But every game this year, we have led going into halftime. We've led every single game. We had the lead against Dallas. We had the lead against Philadelphia, but we couldn't hold those leads the past 2 weeks because we came out flat in the third quarter. And the coach don't know why. Mm-hmm. Like, they keep asking him about it. He don't know why. We played the Jets, Saints, Texas the first 3 games, and we were flat in 2 out of those 3 games too. And we still ended up winning because it was the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans. So, I think the fan base got scared after what happened with us in Philadelphia, because we didn't think Philadelphia was that good enough to do something like that. And they came and bit us in the ass and finished us off. We only scored 3 points in the second half. Our coaching staff plays to hold this lead instead of playing to finish folks and give fatalities to folks. We out here giving y'all opportunities to come back. So I'm not doubting that we're going to come out of the gate playing well in the first half. I'm doubting what the hell's going to happen when the third quarter starts. And that's when the game is really going to start.
That sounds very familiar. Playing not to lose your lead instead of trying to win. That's what we saw last week against the Lions. I think I just saw something. I don't think the Vikings have scored a third quarter touchdown since week 2 or 1. It's been a long time. So our third quarter, we've also been struggling. A lot of punts, a lot of field goals.
Shad, we got an opportunity, bro. We got an opportunity.
They're like us. Both of us can't be bad, right?
It might be just one boring ass third quarter. We might all just want to take a nap. I don't know.
Is there a bet for third quarter? Because we might need to get in on that. Because geez.
Just put 0.
We're pretty bad.
Let's go with 0. So how do you guys feeling? You guys think you're gonna come on top in this one or what?
I mean, yeah, we got it. Oh, I know. I'm rocking with the Panthers. I think it's got to be a bounce back game for us. This last week was one of the worst losses. I mean, we were up 15-3, and we just blew it. We blew the lead when it came to crunch time. We could not take advantage of it, and so I think the team is they're better than what they played. They're better than that, and I expect for them to come out there with a little bit of a chip. And I think if C-Mac is back, which I expect him to be back, I think he's going to give a little bit of spark to this offense. And again, I think we can win this game. I think this is a winnable game. No disrespect to the Vikings. I know you guys are in on every single game. All of your games are close losses, the losses that you do have, and they're always competitive. So I do expect it to be a really, really close one-possession game. I just hope we have a big enough lead that we can hold on to going into the fourth, and we just hold on to it. Because if we do fall behind at some point in the fourth quarter, I do think we could lose this game. But I expect us to come out, win the game. I'm gonna call it a close one from a score perspective. I'm gonna say like 28-27. I'm gonna roll with the 1-point game, Panthers.
So for me, I think Carolina can win this game, but I'm going to go ahead and put this out there in the air. If Patrick Peterson gets an interception, we're losing, because that tells me that Sam Darnold hasn't learned anything, in my opinion. That tells me that he's still doing this one read shit, and he's not making his decision. He's not checking everything, right? He ain't going through his progressions. So I think we're going to win a close one. I think it's not going to be as high scoring as that. I think it's going to be like a 24-21. It's going to be like a slow rolling type of game, because if McCaffrey's coming back, I think we're going to try to run the ball down your throats. So I don't think it'll be low scoring.
Yeah, and you'll be able to do that. And to me, I also think you guys are going to come on top in this one. The Vikings are a team that they don't know how to win. They don't know how to win games. They've been in some close ones, but they can't pull it out in the end. They've proven that this year. I think that's going to come down to it again this year. I do think it'll be close, because every game we have this year has been close, and it'll probably be a heartbreaking loss for us, a thrilling victory for you guys. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a close one too. And it might not be the most exciting game in the world. Our defense has been playing better, and you guys' defense is one of the best in the league. So it could be kind of a meat grinder type of game too.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely going to be one of those tough football games. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. Well, again, guys, thanks for hopping on the show. Panther Nation podcast. Check them out. Give them a follow. Harass them, especially after the game, win or lose. Let's let these guys hear it. But again, appreciate you guys coming on the show, and good luck every week, but this week. So,
all right, man. Appreciate you guys. Hey, make sure you go over, sub up Panther Nation podcast. If you want to support us, man, go over to Underdog Fantasy, sign up over there. Help us out, man. We rocking. Keep pounding. All Panthers fans out there. We see y'all on Sunday. All right.
All right.